that you well know. Look for me in the world when I'm a storm. Look for me all around you, for I shall come back and bring with me countless millions of black slaves who have died in America, who have died in the West Indies, and millions who have died in Africa to aid you in the fight for liberty, freedom, and life. The world today has gone drunk and crazy with its power, and by such to injustice, fraud, and lies have crushed the unfortunate. But if I'm crushed by the system of influence and misdirected power, my cause shall rise again to plague the conscience of the corrupt. For this I'm happy to suffer and even die, for I will write the history for the millions that are coming, and leave the posterity to reckon with the host for the deeds of their fathers. They just laugh at you, return the laughter to them. If they mimic you, return the compliment with equal force. They have no more right to dishonor, disrespect, and disregard your feeling in manhood than you have in dealing with them. Honor them when they honor you, disrespect and disregard them when they vilely treat you. Their arrogance is but skin deep, an assumption that has no foundation in morals or in law.
We want an immediate end to the police brutality and mob attacks against the so-called Negroes throughout the United States. Yes, a complete end to the police brutality and mob attacks. We want an immediate end to the police brutality and mob attacks against the so-called Negroes throughout the United States. Yes, a complete end to the police brutality and mob attacks that our people are confronted by every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year across the land. Brother, show me those, you got those pictures? Brother, grab that picture of Brother Ronald. Let me show you what I mean by police brutality and mob attacks. Come over here with that. Here is a man, a Korean vet. This is a black man, a Korean vet. Went to war in Korea fighting for America. Risked his life fighting for America. And came back to this country and was shot down by the white man like a dog. That's some Ku Klux Klansman down in Mississippi. This black man was shot through the heart by policemen in Los Angeles, California. And they are dumb enough to think we have forgotten it. Well, Muslims never forget. You don't kill our brother. We don't never forget. You don't shoot one of us and then grin in our face. You don't shoot one of us and then shake our hands and think we forget it. No, we never forget. Somehow, someone has to pay. When a snake bites your children, you don't go and look for the snake that has blood on his jaws. Any old snake will do. Any old snake will do. They shot him through the heart. And as he lay dying on the sidewalk, they beat that hole in his head with police clubs. Not in Mississippi, but in Los Angeles, California. Not in the South. Not men who attacked anyone, but they shot their way into our mosques, shot their way into our religious sanctuary, and got the audacity to walk around here talking about this as a country based upon the principles of freedom of religion and freedom of worship and freedom of speech. This country is based upon nothing but hypocrisy, and is based upon nothing but the right of white people to mutilate and shoot down black people. This is the brutality that we're talking about. This is the crime that we're talking about. And you say we teach hate. What kind of hate are we teaching? We're telling you what happens to black people. And this man didn't get shot down because he was a Muslim. They didn't ask him what his religion was. They saw that he was black and they began to fire point blank. And then when they went to court, these Gestapo, they were the criminals. They didn't go to court. They charged him. He's a dead man. And they charged him with a crime. See, these Negroes here shot down were charged with a crime. And you haven't heard anybody open their mouth about it. You wonder why you're having trouble in this country. You're having trouble because the devil is on the rampage. A blue-eyed devil is on the rampage. A heartless devil is on the rampage. A beast is on the rampage. And you haven't got sense enough to know how to handle it. So we don't try and handle it. God is going to handle it. We have God to give him justice. We have God to trap him. We have God to catch him. We have God to deal with him. And we pray that God deals with more of them day after day. And what ones God don't get, we'll get them. For 8 weeks in Los Angeles, 14 so-called Negroes sat on trial, charged by the police with assault, charged by the police with intent to commit murder. You haven't read anything about it in the paper. You haven't seen anything about it and heard anything about it from these blue-eyed white so-called liberals. They quieted it down. They hushed it up. And none of the Negro leaders opened up their mouths during the trial. They were silent while they had a rally of 35,000 Negroes in one of those Wrigley Fields in Los Angeles, while the all-white jury was in session. And not one of them came forth and mentioned what had happened to those 14 Negroes in that city. And they wonder why things are developing to what they are today. No, you don't get justice in court. A black man can't get justice in court. A black man can't get justice in the court system of America. And I'm telling you, the only way you get justice is in the street. The only way you get justice is in the sidewalk. The only way you get justice is when you make justice for yourself. You never will get justice in the white man's court. No, not me. I never want him to take me to court. I saw what he did with my brothers. I see what he has done with them right here in New York City. So make sure you obey the law. Make sure you never commit a crime. Make sure you never deviate from the law. But any time one of them puts his hands on you, take him off the planet. Take him off the planet. Sir? Yes. They're going to have a funeral in Harlem. Make sure they have a funeral downtown, too. 2 funerals at the same time. We want peace. We want justice. We want respect. We want to carry ourselves with dignity. But we don't want to walk around here in a police state giving people the right to think that they can take our life or break our limb or bust our head. And that's all that's going to happen from it. So I'm telling you, don't you ever expect justice in America. No, I'll tell you that if the man locked me up in the morning, don't expect any justice. And when our brothers, Rikers Island, city prison, filled with Negroes, who become Muslims, want to stop drinking, want to stop smoking, want to pull the needle out of their arm. You think that blue-eyed thing out there will help them? No. He puts them in solitary confinement because they want to be Muslim. I'm telling you what Mayor Wagner does and what Governor Rockefeller does. That they're a race of devils. And I pray that God will strike them. Yes, I pray that God will strike them. Put death in their family, death on their relatives, and death on their friends. I pray that God will bring that on. Yes, I pray that God will strike them with death and disease and destruction and misery and grief because they have put it on us. And when God gives it to them, no one can say that God is unjust. God is just. We want an immediate end to the police brutality and mob attacks against the so-called Negroes throughout the United States. We believe that the federal government should intercede to see that black men and women tried in white courts receive justice in accordance with the law of the land, or allow us to build a new nation for ourselves.
Yes. Good evening, all my South Orange Maplewood listeners, and all those other listeners in the towns of Melbourne, Livingston, Irvington, West Orange, East Orange, Orange, and Newark. Welcome to In the Village with Anselm and Marjorie on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience, and live on the World Wide Web at somo.org, and the only radio show covering all your news, opinions, politics, talk, and sports happening in the South Orange, Maplewood, and surrounding communities. You can listen to us every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. and reach us at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626 to get in on the discussion. As usual, we have an interesting program lined up for you this evening. But this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you a podcast of what happened last night at the Board of Education meeting. It was a very interesting meeting with some interesting comments, and it's sad to say that in the school system of South Orange and Maplewood, institutional racism is alive and well, based on what I heard last night at the Board of Education. It is sad to know that you can lose your job without getting due process from the administration or from the Board of Education of the South Orange Maplewood School District. Sad, but true. And last night it just convinced me, ladies and gentlemen, why we have the OCR in our community of South Orange and Maplewood, trying to get things right in our education system. Even as we try to get things right, the South Orange Maplewood school system continues to get it wrong. Yes, plain talk, bad manners, they continue to get it wrong. And I think the time has come for the black people in South Orange and Maplewood to rise up against the many difficulties that are faced by black kids in the South Orange Maplewood School District. Yes, it's about time. Not only that, but this coach from the freshman lacrosse team, a black male at it, was fired by the school district and by extension the Board of Education without getting due process. Yet, the Columbia baseball coach, which had more allegations of bullying than I've ever heard in South Orange and Maplewood, yet he kept his job. It's sad. It's sad, ladies and gentlemen. And I think the time has come that we can't continue to do things as is in South Orange and Maplewood, and time to do things a little differently. So let's listen to the podcast last night of the Board of Education meeting.
And so let me call on you as you signed up here. I first see Amelia Dickens.
Good evening. I'm a resident of Maplewood, and I have a child that's 16 and a child that's Maplewood girl. I thank you for whatever is in the budget for set for you, and I don't know the specifics yet, but in looking at this Schneider's presentation, I do see that you have taken some of our requests into consideration. So thank you for that. Budgets and spending, especially in times of scarcity, reflect our priorities and our values. They show the world who we are. And family budgets more for